So if you're watching this and I'm doing everything right, then hopefully you are starting a VOD. Mr. Wolf is rebooting. He's going to be up in a moment. And once he's online, we're going to just do a quick rundown, and we're going to talk about all the basics of playing Captain Marvel. This should also give you a general idea of how to fight the character as well. Yeah, Captain Marvel's a really cool character. I think that she is not necessarily a character that everybody should play, but she's a character that everybody could play. If you want a pocket Captain Marvel, I think it takes like maybe a couple hours lab time at most, and then she definitely gives you different matchups against a lot of characters in the cast. I don't necessarily think that she beats like Bucky or Hawkeye or anything free, but I think that if you're struggling against especially a particular player who plays those characters, I think that she forces them to approach the matchup differently. So again, Erebus is restarting, and once he's online, we'll hop on online training mode and we'll get in a call, and then we'll get started. My goal is to do as many of these as I can with people who are really good with the characters that I play, and I just wanted to start here because Mr. Wolf and I talk, we get along, so this is a good starting place for me. It'll help me be comfortable, but hopefully we'll branch out. I've already contacted a couple of people who I think are very good with their characters, and we're just going to use this outline. We're going to try to, I'm shooting for about an hour per character, give a rundown of all the things that make the character good, and then go over just a little bit of combo theory, team theory, stone theory, that sort of thing, so that people can pick them up. So yeah, I'm just training mode, and we will just wait for Mr. Wolf. How am I sounding? Am I sounding professional? We're also going to have interesting volume things because I do not have stuff set up. So I'm going to have to just guess on volume. I mean, I've got a levelometer. I'll just make the levels look the same, right? It can't be that complicated. Thank you. Very deliberate. It's my goal in life. I want to experience a wide range of emotions and go through a wide range of things, but I want to be deliberate. I'm actually just going to join a call, and this should just work.
Hey, Rainbows.
Hello. Keep talking.
If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh. Ha ha ha.
I don't know if that's my fault or your fault, but...
No, it's my fault.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Do you know any poems?
Do I know any what?
Poems.
Poems?
Yeah.
I'm not an English major, not off the top of my head. No.
All right. No, that's fine. Mr. Bananas, our volumes are approximately the same, correct?
Probably technically know some.
Okay.
Related nursery rhymes.
My wife wonders if nursery rhymes count.
Your story rhymes absolutely count.
You remember that little panda poem?
The little panda poem?
What in her highlight?
Little panda at the zoo, little panda
Okay.
ICU. I like to watch you chew bamboo and
Thank
roll
you.
and play the way
Perfect.
I do.
Perfect.
Is that the poem?
I mean, I think you've reached a life stage where you are now a connoisseur of the English language and you have multiple poems memorized.
I think I have a child that I read that poem to from a little children's highlights thing pretty regularly, and my wife was just like, "You know some poems."
Well, yeah, you do.
Oh,
That sure as heck sounds like you know knowing poems.
Yeah. All right. Apparently my game is running. It's just taking forever to boot up.
That's
There we
fine.
go. And there's the invite. Oh. Let me check one, check two, check. Oh, hold on one second. Move closer. Check one, check two, check three.
Okay. I mean, right now I'm looking at two little things and the levelometers are about the same, and Mr. Bananas is saying that.
Yeah, I'm just listening to it back.
Cool.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
All right.
Rainbows made dread, but you have a clue. Oh dear.
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta read the rhyming part though. Like it doesn't.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Rainbows made dread, but you have a clue.
My understanding is that if it doesn't rhyme, it's not a poem.
I don't think that's true.
What do you mean you don't think it's true? You may want to mute me in game.
I did.
Okay.
I'm very quick on the draw for that because it bugs the shit out of me. All right, what team do you want me to pull up? Yeah, I'm assuming Carol.
Carol,
There's
somebody.
My team.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
I'm gonna do Carol Dante because it is better to demonstrate some stuff.
Okay, perfect. So we've already split the blood, and then we're just gonna have a nice 5-minute section of me trying to get you to recite poetry in there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the main draw, honestly.
I didn't realize. I was like, oh, he's gonna ask. I actually thought of some things about Carol that I didn't even think about until I was like, oh, he's gonna want me to talk about Carol, and then I was like,
Nice.
oh, that's a thing that I didn't even think about.
Cool. So let's get started. If we just go off the top, so I said that Carol is. I think that of all the characters in the game, the rate at which you learn Carol relative to her warping of certain matchups means that she's definitely a character that is very useful to spend like an hour in training mode in.
Like so that you can play against her.
Well, no, so you can play her when you're just like, this guy's playing Bucky, screw this.
Oh yeah, I mean she is meant to be a very easy to pick up beginner character. Like she is designed to be the beginner character. She's just to go at them with big aggressive, like one big aggressive button. Like she has a very linear game plan. Yeah, like I agree with that. Like if she's a character that's just like easy to learn and pick up and play at a competent level.
Sure. What are the things that make her unique?
Unique?
Yeah.
Armor. She has 2 armor installs. One is down light kick. One is down heavy kick. The down heavy kick takes a lot longer to start up. These are not cancelable by anything except for tag and storm and I think. Let me see. No, you can't binary cancel until it's done.
Yeah, I immediately tried.
You can tag cancel at any point, though it's difficult to see through binary, she doesn't actually get armor after tag. So if you tag, when the tag happens, she immediately loses armor. That means that even as an assist, she does not have armor. So the armor
just real quick, you can armor in the air.
You can armor in the area.
Yeah.
And the armor is unique in that it's a thing that's an install that makes it so that lights and projectiles no longer affect her. She can armor through them. She can start getting hit. Go ahead and start hitting me with that. She can block halfway through. So I'm trying to get hit by the first hit of that. I don't know if I was successful. I'll try one more time.
No, I did.
Yeah, so you can be mid combo and then basically start blocking after the fact.
As it runs out.
Have armor.
Yeah,
armor ran out right there. So yeah, that makes her pretty oppressive when she has armor, which we can talk about why that's good or bad later. She has Blitz Blow, which is and a slide. She has probably one of the best slides in the game. And she has a for beginners thing where basically off of slide, and I don't know if she has it off of other moves, but off of slide, she can, if she just holds the kick button down, she'll immediately go into flight. So if you do down heavy kick and you just hold kick down, you'll immediately go into flight without actually needing to do the flight cancel. It's not as good as manually canceling because
forward heavy kick also.
Oh, forward heavy kick also, so you can also do... Alright,
yeah.
So there's another vague reason to use whatever that is called, I forget.
Yeah, whatever it's called.
Yeah, there is a word. That move has a name. Yeah, I know this is Impact Punch. I don't remember the name of...
Turn kick.
Turn kick. It's turn kick, thank you. Yeah, I was looking at the screen. So Smash Hook and Turn Kick are her, 2 main command normals. She's also got Sliding Straight, which most people think is a meme. You can do sliding straight into light kick into sweep, so it has its place. It's just it is an advancing normal. It just doesn't advance her much, and it has a slow startup, but it puts her at a low profile. Other unique things that Carol
it's
has.
A low? That's cool. If it's a low, that's actually kind of okay.
I don't remember if it's a low.
Let me just hold back.
It's a low.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yep. Cool.
So she has really good. She also, other things that make her unique. She has 2 command grabs. If I could do half circles on my hitbox, there we go. The heavy one causes an OTG state, which you can pick up with slide off of. If you're cornered, it's better to mash, or to not mash, but to time properly a heavy button to pick up before they use OTG. You can get a better combo that way. But it is generally considered better to do light kick take off when they're cornered because you'll get a better combo.
Cool.
So here's the light kick one in the corner. Like I said, she gets good grab combos as well, just off of normal grab in the corner. She can get a pretty impressive series of hit grabs into more stuff. That ended early, but anyway, we're getting some weird frame rate issues.
We definitely are.
What else does she have? She's got impact, which is her down heavy punch in the air, which is, I don't know. It's another move it's basically the move you do in order to hit the next move with her. It is her longest. It's her longest hit stun move for her air normals or command normals, I guess, if you include it in that. It allows her to connect into either her hit grabs, her beams, or her beam super. You also generally should use it to go into flight, although you don't strictly have to. It is just better to go into her flight combos using that. Yeah, there's rainbows showing that you don't have to, but most of the time you're a lot further into your flight combo, and she is a character that, depending on how late you are into the combo, how much damage you've dealt, the window on getting the jab confirm into your flight combo can be rather tight.
So let me just summarize real fast. As far as things that make her unique, she has armor, which persists through movement and moves. So every move that she has becomes armored. It's not the great armor; it's the armor that gets blown up by heavies, but it's still pretty good. She's got a really long sweep that goes really far and makes her really low. She's got an 8-way directional move in Blitzblow. Obviously, Blitzblowing up isn't.
We'll talk about Blitzblow a little bit more in a second.
Yeah, but it's fully controllable, so you can go anywhere you want with it. She's a flight character, and she has command grabs. Am I missing anything?
She has command grabs. She has good grab combos. The other things that I want to talk about, she has hit grabs.
Oh yeah,
which
meter gain.
Yeah. Not just meter gain. Like her hit grabs make her higher level combo routes very, very interesting. And she's very good at conserving OTG if she wants to in exchange for her sliding knockdown. So it's pretty trivial for her to get a character out of the air without using OTG, which can be very good for combo extensions. Her grounded heavy hit grab will send the opponent flying, so you need to tag if you want to make a wall, because you can make walls with your tagged character. She also, most of like her complicated hit grab combos involve doing that hit grab basically just above the ground. I don't even think I'm low enough there. I'm trying to just demonstrate. There we go. So like that is a common part of her combo enders, because if you're doing it in the air just above the ground, then you can continue the combo without them going behind you. If you're completely grounded, they'll bounce behind you, and it's awkward. The same thing can be said for her light punch hit grab. That used OTG. I wasn't trying to do that, but if you do it just above the ground, you can do like launcher, and that picked up without using OTG. And you can do that to Hominid and a couple other Carols do that to get long combos into a level 3.
Cool.
Let's talk about Blitzblow. Blitzblow is incredibly punishable. I can't do anything except for tag on that entire way down. But the input for it is 2 kicks. If you do Blitzblow basically upwards, you can't do... Actually, I think if you do any form of Blitzblow in the air, you are basically out of air actions. If you miss with Blitzblow, you can't power surge, you can't do anything. It's much more noticeable if she goes in an upwards direction, because her fall speed is different than if she went horizontally. She falls much faster if she goes it horizontally. You can cancel in the binary, as Rainbows is pointing out, but I wanted to get to that. Sorry, Bananas is pointing out. So
You can also,
down kicks
do that.
is her install super. Yeah, you can storm as well.
Um,
So
real-
basically, you can storm, tag, or do binary install to save yourself if you do a bad blitz.
Real,
And like
real,
that's
real,
ahead.
real quick though. We're definitely delving into things that make her unique. But if it's cool with you, I'd like to save a little bit of this for a little bit later.
Yeah, sure.
And
I wasn't sure if you want me to go into what binary does and the other things that make her unique.
I
but if
mean,
you wanna
honestly,
save that-
I was planning on just saying don't use binary, and then leaving it at that. A little bit more complicated. I think that it definitely has some applications, and we should probably talk about it at some point. But I think that
Yeah, that's fine. So she has an install. It's generally, I think it's bad. Other people think it's good. I generally think that you mostly use binary to save yourself on a bad blitz blow, or if you're trying to do a really unique advanced combo. Because
Sure.
it does change a lot of her mechanics, and you do have to get different combo routes if you use it.
so. Again, all these things I promise we will address in a moment. What would you say?
Okay, the
her-
other thing, was
Go
there
ahead.
anything else with Blitzblow I wanted to say? Oh yeah, if you do it down with Blitzblow, just on Blitzblow, if you do it down, she does this kind of tumble animation. That's pretty easy to punish. It's got a really generous hitbox, but it is very punishable on whiff. Basically, TLDR, don't whiff with Blitzblow unless you're tagging to make it safe. That was a grabbable tag.
Cool.
You know what I mean.
So now that we've got a little bit over what makes you unique, what do you think her playstyle is? How would you describe that in like 3 sentences?
I mean, I think her playstyle is go at the opponent is how I personally view it. I mean, other people play her differently, but like I view her as a very pointy point. She has decent mix. If you get install on her, she can do a lot of things where like you don't have like if you block this in the corner, like if I'm in install and I do blitz blow on you and you don't push block it, you can't jab me. You have to, and if I'm just falling on you with light kick, you lose.
Right.
So she has basically when she's armored, she has the ability to just force a lot of situations
Cool.
where you have to guess what she's going to do next, and it's not very fun.
So kind of expanding on that, how would you describe her game plan?
Get armor and then go in. Get armor, go in is basically how I would describe it. It's a pretty weak game plan in my view because it basically you need to have block strings that catch up back, and you need to be able to react to push block correctly because she doesn't have push block agnostic block strings.
Sure.
Once you get them blocking fully instead of mixing with your high-low, you can choose to mix with command grab. Hominid mixes with command grab in my view more than they should, and I think all the other Carols use command grab to lesser and lesser amounts, where I probably use it the least, and then Bananas and Prismimic use it sort of at a medium level in their mix.
I just want to mention, sort of to expand on something you said. You mentioned that her pressure is kind of weak if you can't catch up back, which is true. I think that more than other characters in the game, she just has a completely brain dead ender, and that if they block Blitzblow, you're almost never punishable.
I want to talk about that. So Blitzblow is 0 on block, so if you block this, there's nothing that you can do that I can't block. It is 100%
Hang on,
safe.
Blitzblow me point blank in the corner.
Sure. Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, she has a 6-frame jab, so it's not the best example. But it's literally 0 on block. There's nothing. I mean, Dante also doesn't have fast buttons. I would say Spencer or like you crossed me up that.
I'm the best.
That is an interesting strategy, though. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blitzblow is a good ender. It's also her only safe ender.
Right.
She literally can't end a block string safely if she doesn't Blitzblow, and the Blitzblow has to hit.
However,
Beam is unsafe on block.
Yeah.
And all of her only other specials are hit grab or flight cancel, both of which are unsafe.
Right. That's a. I mean, to be fair, that's sort of a vaguely common idea in this game. It's not necessarily. A lot of characters have similar things, and the fact that she does have something that's completely safe is actually, I think, really good and really advantageous. That.
Yes and no. I think that a lot of other characters have things that are either provide better support utility. Her beam is incredibly bad.
I agree.
And that are only punished. There are a lot of characters that have like a -4 special. Like Dante has a lot of stuff that's like -4. Other characters have stuff that's like -4, and -4 is really only just going to get you grabbed.
The flip side is that a lot of the things that you're talking about can be, if you push block the normal in front of them, they start being really dumb to do. Blitzblow usually doesn't care about you push blocking the normal in front of it. You can like lariat at some spacings.
I mean, so yes, but also because she's so reliant on Blitzblow, and be like you could be like you can bust out and catch it.
Yeah.
And like she sucks against bust out, frankly. Like her pressure is really, really bad against bust out super. Because she can't really, her pressure doesn't really get you above and behind for the supers that are just lateral bust outs, like Panther, Gamora,
she can't do that, basically.
Captain America, things like that. And obviously for Nova, that's even better. Or like Zero, like she can't position through her pressure in a way where you can become safe to the majority of bust outs in the game.
No, I totally. So let's expand on a point that you were kind of making and talk about her team stuff a little bit. What does she want from a partner?
Support.
Okay. So
she wants a partner that can lock the opponent down and get her on top of them in a way where she can do empty high-low mix, or do, if she wants to, you can try to do some command grab stuff in gaps. But in my opinion, her strongest mix is this, or this,
right?
Like choosing to do dash forward heavy punch versus dash forward heavy kick into fast low is extremely difficult to react to, and it catches a lot of people off guard because she's in the windup of the heavy kick.
So you want a partner?
It looks like a high.
So you want a partner that provides lockdown.
You basically want stuff that provides lockdown where she can install armor and then mix, and if the first layer of mix doesn't work because she's an armor, she can continue her approach.
So Sigma, Gamora, Dante, maybe Ghost Rider,
Winter Soldier.
So I think that one of the things that I would also mention is that she has, and we should have talked about this a little bit more. Not only does she probably have the best meter gain for herself in the game, it comes at a really good ratio relative to the amount of bar that the opponent builds. So she wants a partner that can spend that additional bar. I think that Gamora probably on paper is the best. I think Dante is up there. I think that you can make
Zero is in consideration as well.
Yeah. So anybody that you just gets incredibly annoying if they just have an extra bar every time they do a combo.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at Monster Hunter, you could look at Arthur. Obviously, Bananas plays her with Nova, which is like that's sort of the fundamental concept of his team is he gets a hit and then suddenly he has level 3 Nova, and he pretty consistently has level 3 Nova, which is really annoying. Her meter gain is she can gain an incredible amount of meter entirely off of these hit grabs because they build. So the meter gain ratio is like normal meter gain, you gain like 1.22 or 1.2 the amount of meter your opponent does, and her meter gain on hit grabs is 2x. So she gains twice the meter, and that's true for all hit grabs in the game. Any hit grab in the game, the meter you build is twice the meter your opponent builds. But the thing is like it's basically her and Dante for doing the most hit grabs, and so for meter for damage, she's pretty unparalleled across the cast. I haven't done the math on every single character, but like that is the general consensus is that she is incredibly good at meter gain.
Right. So anybody who can spend bar, Firebrands,
or who benefits from having bar.
Right.
I did want to mention one thing that we missed on things that made her unique. She has incredibly stubby normals.
Yes, her normals are bad. I thought about saying that.
Yeah, one of the reasons that I use Power Stone with her is not just for easy Blitzblow confirms, but also because it helps you cover the fact that you have such bad air normals.
Sure.
Her ground heavy kick is like probably her best grounded button. That or like, yeah, I think that's pretty inarguably her best ground button. Wow, it's getting kind of framey.
I tapped that for a second. It should be better.
There we go. Yeah, it's better now.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah,
it probably does it every time I try it.
That's why I use power. You could make arguments for reality. I think you personally do make arguments for reality. I don't think actually slide is necessarily like because it's so like it doesn't actually control as much space as I think visually you would want it to. Like slide is good for catching people who aren't expecting it because it reaches so far and you can basically stuff a button with it. But in terms of playing footsies, like it's difficult. Like, some characters like Nova can literally just dolphin kick at you. Like he can just dash down dolphin kick and it covers an incredible amount of space. And she just doesn't have that. Like even her dash down heavy kick, you have to do it kind of high because it auto cancels.
The argument that
but it just doesn't cover the space.
The argument that Mr. Prism makes with his play is that by doing slide at smart times, you remove the opponent's ability to tag without just getting hit, which is really, really good. He plays and he takes games, like literally entire games, just because he happens to be sliding when he thinks the other person is going to tag, and it just blows the heck up out of the tag. It controls all
slide is an okay move to cover tag, but it is incredibly unsafe because both slide and blitz blow have long ending frames where if you do not tag to make them safe, you can just get free hit by tag.
You can definitely be punished. I'm just making the point that Mr. Prism...
I both agree and disagree. I feel like it's a read. I feel like it's a read and it's an unsafe read, and that fundamentally unsafe reads are bad.
I also think that a lot of the people that he gets away with that on could just vary their play somewhat and punish him for it. They don't.
Like this is a game where if you are making a series of unsafe, like it's like just doing raw command grab without tag.
Right.
Like that is an unsafe read, and your risk reward is bad. It's not in your favor. I think just doing slide randomly to maybe not randomly, but doing slide off of I think they're going to tag here is a bad decision unless you're covering it with tag. And even with covering it with tag, I think that you really gotta. It's like throwing a random DP out in neutral is my view of it. Only you actually get a combo off of it because this is Marvel.
Cool. No, I see where you're coming from. So real fast, we were talking about stones. She's got really good synergy with Power Stone because her buttons are so bad. Just the fact that Power Stone is good is interesting. I think that Reality is... I don't think Reality is her best stone, but I think she's the best user of Reality for a couple of reasons. One, I think that the fact that you don't care about Reflect anymore is really, really... Winter Armor is super... advantageous.
I mean, I think saying that she's really good with her stone when she's armored up, I feel like that is a telling statement.
Yeah.
Like she can super a lot of characters can punish this. This is what everyone thinks is the free, you just super jump and then you dash up and install armor. A lot of characters can punish that. And you don't even need to have a teleport to do it. Captain America can literally just super jump, double jump.
Yeah.
Chun-Li can go up there. There's a bunch of characters that can just go up there and hit her, or catch her on the way up because she has a slow dash. And so if she's only good when she goes armored up, that means you have to play a bad character to get to that state. So when you say when she's got armor, she's really good with Reality. It's okay, but how much of the game is she armored? Especially considering it doesn't last that long.
So the other thing that I wanted to point out is that I think that she's got, compared to a lot of other characters, she has very easy entries into Reality with restands because she's got such a complete knockdown kit. So this, if I do it right...
she didn't, but that's okay. I mean, I see the idea.
Yeah. The point is that anytime the opponent is in this state and you OTG like that, you get a restand. And she can force that state while canceling into it off of this because you have the extra time for the sliding.
I mean, so I think this is, for me, this is a little bit of you being really of the strong belief that restands are incredibly strong and incredibly good in this
which
game.
Is fine.
I think that, which is fine. But I do think that if you're saying that some things are outside of the scope of beginners, I do think that anything involving restand is outside.
Sure. Let me restate my thesis, though. I don't think Reality is the best stone. I think she is the best user of the stone.
When she's armored.
Sure. I don't think there's a lot of stuff going on with time. It's possible
I feel like by that argument, Nemesis is good with Reality, and I don't think that's true.
Maybe. She doesn't necessarily have anything super good with Mind. Mind actually makes you feel dumb because you just have infinite bar already.
Mind is terrible. She's already got a better command grab, and she's already got good meter gain.
So the only other interesting synergy would just be that because this is so long, you can get a couple of spaces. But other than that,
Bananas was talking about that. She has really good hit grabs for building space mid combo, and her combos can be quite long.
Yep. Cool.
And Soul, because, and this is something we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
All of her supers kill her.
Oh yeah.
And so, because all of her supers deal damage to her, Soul has some viability for keeping her alive. And also, because she has shitty normals, Soul is a good option for breaking armor on like Sigma Tackle, or helping her deal with some of her worst matchups.
So for reference, I got hit by a single Soulstorm, and because I'm in binary and I did a super, I'm
Yeah, you can see the health draining there.
yeah.
I need to go into Cheat Engine and just get some hard numbers on that. I know people have said it's like 5% or whatever. There are people who have said how much it actually damages you for, but like, and that does like 2.5% is what I've read on paper,
Yeah.
and you can see it did a tiny bit, and that's not red health. That's non. You can't perfect with Carol if you use a meter. It's non-refundable health. It's non-healable health. Only Soul Surge will get that health back. And that is another reason that I find binary to be bad, because, like I said, this is if you're looking at a raw binary, look at how much is ticking here. If she's trying to make a solo comeback, as you know, sometimes she is wont to do, I'll get people commentating my matches being like, "You got to do binary, man," and I'm like, okay, like I'm making a solo comeback and I'm giving up. What is that, like a 1/10 of my health, maybe?
Yeah.
For the ability to blitz blow 3 times, and for my combos to be jankier, and for like single hits to do more damage. It puts you in chip range. Like in my view, it consistently puts you in chip range. It's fun to be able to blitz blow constantly, but when you blitz blow constantly in binary, it's not like you can cancel it like in Time Surge. You still have the ending animation, and it still has the ending and startup. It just lets you do it 3 times in the air. Because
to be fair, you do recover as if you had hit somebody. You recover relatively fast. You don't have the super long.
Yeah. And I'm pretty, and you can block after it. Like the fact that you can block after it is nice, but like it's still a whiff punishable move.
Right.
And it just doesn't add enough, in my view, to have it be like Captain Marvel needs to come back. Better put her in binary. It's like, that didn't give me armor. Like, that just made it so that I can use a move that doesn't provide any mix. Oh, I'm trying to do install on it.
Sorry.
It doesn't provide any mix. And it's like, in my view, binary is objectively best when you have an assist, or when you have a tag. Because like when you have a tag, suddenly binary can do a lot more stuff. Like I know that you've done a lot of you've done a lot of combos where like binary can help you get a lot more damage in a combo with the right team.
Yeah.
And it can also increase your meter gain substantially.
Yeah.
If you do it right. But like it's very niche. It's certainly not solo comeback. Anyway,
the one point that I would make real fast before we move on is that the ability to blitz blow 3 times there, while it might not be very threatening to the opponent, it gives you a crap ton of movement, because it's an 8-way movement option that goes about 3/4 of the screen, and you can use it to suddenly change directions.
I see. This is both my experience when using it and also watching other people do it. You get too blitz blow happy, and like when you're up against a Sigma or like a character who can just like paint the screen with projectiles, like I didn't recover there. Like I was just like, oh, I can, here's my like movement. Well, that was actually kind of a janky hitbox. I like that. But like you're more liable to just get hit because you feel like you can fly around and do stuff.
Yeah. So I swear we'll talk about binary at some point. But while we're following the outline, because we sort of went over this, but we kind of doesn't. The biggest thing she provides to a teammate is meter, and she's not a great assist character other than that.
No, she's a really bad assist. Like, so the issue with all of her assist quote unquote moves is that like her best, so in my view, a good assist is a move that either moves you forward, or is slow on startup, or provides a lot of lockdown.
Right.
And her Photon Blast does not provide much lockdown. Like, I'm pretty sure I can't. So if I do, like, that didn't cross up. It was too, like, it hit you before the teleport happened.
Yeah.
So you can't use her beam as a cross up mix. Blitz blow if you block. So if you block my blitz blow for a second, Um, Blitzblow can be used to get on top of the opponent. So like that's Blitzblow tag isn't a bad option for her if like you're trying to get an approach going. But like if you're using her, you probably are using a character with her that like I can't do instant air dash right now. There we go. That you're using her with a character that hopefully is providing like pretty decent assist. Obviously, like I'm trying to learn her with Dante. Prismimic uses her with Dante. Bananas uses her with Nova, and you know, Hominid uses her with Widow, and I guess Max Weiser also plays her with some characters, but I don't remember Max's teams. With her,
I think he plays
honestly.
both Cap and Thor.
Yeah, I think that's right. And like basically in all of those situations, she is the worst of the assists. Like Nova has better assist value than she does.
Yeah.
And I forgot the. Oh, what was the question? What she's looking for in a partner? Is that
No.
what it was?
What does she provide other than meter? And the
Other
answer is
than
basically
meter,
that.
Mix. She provides sub. Like she provides okay mix, like slightly better than average mix, and the ability to surprise your opponent by hitting them when they think that they're not going to get hit. Like honestly, I feel like a lot of the reason that people despise her is because Blitzblow is a thing where you just have to respect it. It is extremely long-reaching. Same with her slide. Like the reason people hate her is because they don't play her enough and they are surprised when they get hit by her shit.
Dude, Infinity Cap was showing up on PC, and there were a couple of people who I'm not going to name who were like, "Oh my god, Captain Marvel's so broken. What do I do about it?" And I just played against him, and I just blocked, and it was like, cool.
Yeah, you just block. like that's legitimately like if you can push block halfway decently,
Yeah.
her mix becomes a lot less scary, and that's very connection dependent. And so on a shitty connection where you're just holding down back and praying, I can totally understand, but like on a shitty connection, Spider-Man's really good, you know. And so like I get it, but like if you're either playing locally or playing on a good connection, she becomes a lot less scary. She does have pretty good like forward back cross up with her air dash. Like that's unpleasant. And she also has pretty good. You can either like go down like that, or you can go down like that. But that one's a lot more reactable in my view.
Yeah.
And that one's kind of hard to deal with.
So just to sort of back it up and make a slightly more basic point, she's definitely top half of the cast, I would say, if you can make the other person block for a second, right? So like,
I feel like if she can do this without getting launched.
Yeah.
And like that's more than just blocking for a second, because a lot of, like, especially with my team, and obviously I have a shit team, but like I play Panther, I don't really play Dante. Like I can't just jump at someone and dash down with my team.
Right.
And like so you do need an assist that is competent enough that you can force them to block the entirety of the jump at you and high low. And a lot of people, when they play with her, and this is across just like a lot of the beginners in this game, they just like they skip the first step of the mix and they go straight to jumping, and then they get launched because the person just like, I'm push blocking, and then they just launch them and you eat shit.
I want to, before we move on, I do want to, and we're inevitably going to get into an argument over this. I think she has the second best beam in the game. I think Boltz is better.
Oh, the super?
No, just beam. Beam is so, compared to other beams, it's so good. Nobody else in the game that I'm aware of.
That's like having the shiniest turd, by the way.
I agree. I agree.
I mean, so the fact that I blocked. Let me do it.
Okay.
So like you have to basically first hit confirm that. That is a true combo. It's full screen.
Yeah.
Beam beam first hit. I use it as a punish generally, or I'll use it as I'll tag with it to make it safe.
Well, the other point though is that it's really easy to convert with most partners from even full screen off of a hit compared to other beams. Because there's just so much, that comboed.
I mean, I guess I might not visually confirm it enough. It is easy to confirm, but a lot of the time you'll be like, if you're not expecting it to confirm, and you're trying to get mix off of it, then you'll drop it.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. And I'm not saying
but
that
like
beams are good. I think that beams are trash, but I think that
so
it
like
is.
I can see the argument. I don't know Ryu or Ultron or
Exactly.
Tony.
Iron Man,
I think Tony's beam might be better because it's a better assist.
Maybe. Tony's beam is really weird.
It takes forever. It's a very slow startup and it lasts a while. And I think that beam works better with teleports, and I think that beam might be a better assist than hers. But it depends on what you put the value in with a beam. Ryu's is weird because it's a projectile and a beam depending on how you use it and charge it, and he can do it in the air. Which I guess she can do hers in the air too. I think Tony can't do his in the air, which might make it worse.
Oh yeah, he can't. He cannot.
Her up beam is like okay coverage. I think Ultron's has more coverage,
It
but
does.
obviously he can't convert off of it. But like most of the time, you do just care about like throwing something out to harass someone and interrupt them.
Right. And then bananas.
so,
Bananas would probably like to mention that this works.
Yeah, I do that into low, but yeah, that is you can use beam as a way to confirm into install if you feel like doing some cute combos. That's the way I prefer to do it. Bananas does it in a different way normally.
Okay.
Yeah, he likes to do it off of Blitzblow.
So
so the reason he doesn't like it with beam is because beam does more HSD damage than it does actual damage, and it makes it so the combo does like epsilon less total damage, but it's like so minor, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that must be like 50. Like that's not.
It's very small.
Yeah.
The difference, and like point blank, it's pretty much zero.
Yeah.
Like if you hit someone point blank with this beam, it's doing the same HSD as it's doing damage. But if you're like here,
Right.
You can see it dealt like half damage
Right.
compared to full damage.
So again, we'll get back to beam in a second, but let's talk about her neutral plan. You think where would you put her preferred range?
Oh hell! I mean, I would say either here, where she can box dash or sweep or blitz blow at you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think she likes to be there, or she like if it's her turn, she obviously anyone likes to be here.
Yeah.
But like I do think that like around this range is kind of her danger range. She's kind of a mid-range character.
So,
obviously none of her normals work there. So
Yeah.
like she has a very shitty linear game plan where it's just like, oh, I slide at you, and then I either blitz blow, block low this time,
Sorry.
or I or I cancel into flight because you're worried about blitz blow,
Yeah.
and then I like continue my mix.
Right.
And like if I cancel into flight and you push block, we're fine. But if you don't push block, you just mash jab, or you got mashing. That wasn't real.
Okay.
I'll try to actually do the attack. Yeah, like there you go. If the person is expecting the flight, then you've literally like just screwed yourself.
Yeah.
So that's like the reason that like flight can be difficult. It is a thing where like I really consistently do sweep into blitz blow, and I'm just like, I guess my turn's over. That was fun. There is no mix here. And sometimes I'll do tag after. But like and you can throw turn kick in there, or throw smash hook in there to lengthen it. It's very push block dependent, and it can be kind of dicey. You can Kara cancel turn kick into command grab, which does actually, in my view, provide pretty decent mix.
Well, let's. I promise that there will be a much better time.
All right, well, we'll hold off on that.
So
full
this
is the distance. This is the distance. This is where I would put it. That's where I play her. I don't know if other people have other opinions, but that's my view.
Full screen, your options are pretty much move forward, beam, and armor. Armor is great.
And armor is incredibly unsafe at full distance.
So the threat of armor will make people charge at you, which means you should be playing with the idea that the other person is probably going to make you not want to armor.
I have news for you. If I'm playing against Dorm or Hawkeye,
the
idea that I might armor in this position is laughable. Like Dorm can cover every option, and Hawkeye can literally gimlet armor on reaction.
Right.
And Strange can book armor on reaction. So like, yes, it depends on the matchup, and some of her matchups are god awful. Like Ghost Rider doesn't give a shit about you trying to armor at this distance. Ghost Rider's distance is longer than yours, and he's if you try to armor, he's just going to full screen heavy punch you.
My point though is that if you do this, there's a pretty good chance the other person is just going to jump up to meet you, and you don't necessarily.
And then
want
you
to
can do blitz
Yeah,
blow
yeah,
at them,
yeah.
or you can like dash up, dash heavy punch and hope that your button wins, or dash heavy kick, and then your combo instantly ends. Yeah, I mean, there's some other stuff going on there, for sure.
And then mid screen, when you get to the range that you were, and I agree, is a really good range for you. You got sweep, you got blitz blow, you got box dash
Back,
stuff.
box dash.
You got
box dash.
she doesn't have the best buttons, but she does have okay buttons. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the only like the biggest issue with her buttons is that like they're slow,
Right.
and like her good buttons are way slower than like a better character's good buttons. And for the stubby ones, you're like you're really screwed if you miss a button. Like your best bet is to cancel into an unsafe beam or to tag in a way that's probably going to get you happy birthday.
Right. And then up close, so she has a chainable jab, which is a very good thing to have. It's not the best chainable jab, but it exists.
It's not fast enough that it can catch tags, but it is a jab that you can use to auto confirm. It does miss. It is bad against Hawkeye and Rocket when crouching.
Yeah.
This is not a move that you should ever use against those characters because they'll just crouch it and they'll look like an idiot. Her standing light kick is the same. You need to do down light, which means that for those characters you need to learn different options if you're trying to create block strings to catch up back.
Right.
Because this won't catch up back.
When you're close, she does also theoretically have command grab. She can do up downs. She can do all that sort of thing. If you can.
And her command grab reaches further than you might think, especially the light version.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Give me one
I
second.
can do. There we go. I was a little closer than I think I needed to be.
Nice.
And yeah. Anyway.
Okay. But so between the chainable job and once you have the other person conditioned a little bit, the fact that you get mixed when you're up close means that if they're ever respecting you up close, you get to go to town. But let's talk about pressure. You were starting to get into this about 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, sure. So like she's got a couple different options for pressure. Just block everything. Load.
Oh yeah.
So the most basic pressure you can do with her is this into blitz blow. I do a lot of blitz blow into power surge, which is fake, depending on push block. If he does not push block me at all, if there's no push block, there are moves that beat that. Dante Launcher is one of them. I'm pretty sure. So if he just launchers, I was late, but let me do it again.
Ooh.
He needs to be very. It's like a 1 frame difference, so you need to be there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna do that. Yeah.
That works. Yeah. So there's buttons that beat that. It's not real, but it's real against characters that don't have buttons that beat it. So you can do slide and throw in turn kick. You can do slide directly cancel into flight, and then either obviously if they push block you, it's going to be awkward, but you can get the dash forward into the heavy punch. You can do flight into a low like that. You can do slide into turn kick into blitz blow. You can do slide and turn kick into flight. You can do slide into turn kick and then car cancel the turn kick into command grab. I think I was too fast there.
Yeah. Well, no, I backdashed it the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I tried to push
command grab, and if they're backdashing in that situation, go ahead and try to backdash the.
Yeah, you can just cancel.
You can really only cancel into flight is the thing, because turn kick is kind of the end of the situation. So like, probably the best thing to do is to just tag and go low.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to backdash. But they might, if the turn kick hits, then they've probably already backdashed. Turn kick, I don't know if sliding a turn kick is actually safe. I've never actually tested it. Like, it does look like a pretty good frame trap, at least against Dante. Against characters, and that's a 6 frame jab. So like, and like you can see, because it's because of the way command normals work in this game, and you do sweep, you can cancel turn kick pretty quickly on hit, but you can also delay it. So I'm pretty sure I was jailing there, which is why the jabs weren't coming up.
So it's whatever you want it to be with the cancel timing.
Yeah. Like I tried jabbing.
Yeah.
So that was a frame trap. So like she, like most of the cast, have this sort of free form when you cancel determines where your frame traps are. Yeah.
I want to just mention briefly, because you exposed me to this idea. If you push block slide at some spacings, turn kick doesn't work. But if I delay the turn kick because of slide momentum, it starts connecting again, which is screwy. Depending on whether the other person push blocks, there may be a gap there. My point is that it's she has options.
But one thing you will note about all of this pressure, start blocking low,
Sure.
is that like if I don't cancel slide into the next thing, slide is unsafe.
Yeah,
and if I don't cancel if I don't eventually get to blitz blow, it's unsafe. And if they push block this in a way where I have to delay turn kick, I am opening myself up to buttons and especially to bust out. Which is why this character is so bad against bust out. Her pressure is incredibly easy to push block and then just spend a meter to get a hit and take your turn.
Yeah.
And there's really no counterplay for that for Carol. There's nothing she can do that will catch that. She can't start blocking halfway through her pressure. She can't really fit. Like she can really just like there's nothing she can really do on block that like. And now I'm going to stop my pressure, and you are now busting out, and I have successfully baited you. That doesn't exist for Carol.
I mean, that's the thing that a lot of characters actually struggle with. I maintain it's not just a Carol thing, but I get what you mean.
Okay.
Okay. So what?
I think other characters can keep you jailed in a way that ignores push block. Better characters can keep you jailed in a way that ignores push block, or at distances where your bust out is going to get meated by projectiles or other bullshit.
There are definitely characters with some of those options. I don't think it's super common though.
Okay.
So you get them to block a tag, and you're tagging into Carol. What are you doing?
So let me get Dante in here. So if I'm like bop 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 tag. That probably that's what I would do. I mean, you can do if the tag, so it's sort of like, so one thing that Priz will do, and this is interesting to me, is he'll actually I probably shouldn't do that with Dante. I should just do like he'll do a sweep with the tag, and you'll notice that I didn't let the tag crash hit. And so what that does, try to push block a tag crash. Yeah, so you push block the tag crash that time. I just wanted to make sure that you would actually do it. So now do it again. Yeah, you get blown up.
Yeah.
So you get blown up because of you're expecting the tag crash to hit, you push block it, and the sweep hits you. It's really good. It loses to grab. So if they start doing that, then you just might grab me when I try to sweep you.
Okay. I'm bad at grabbing.
That's true. I mean, you can do it to me.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You can't be putting an active hitbox on like that. You just like single hit heavy punch. I didn't quite get it. One more time.
I mean, this is going to be a very timing dependent thing. Yeah.
It's tricky. It's tricky because of the amount of block stun that Dante puts you in.
Well,
on the hit.
The other point though is that that sequence is very easy to just down back.
That is also true. But the other thing is, and we didn't actually talk about this. She has a couple cross-up buttons, and so if you're down backing, let's say Dante's here and you're doing down back business, she can kind of ambiguously, like, maybe I'm crossing you up, maybe I'm not with this jump heavy kick.
Right.
The connection's being kind of wonky, so
I'm getting it. It is definitely weird what I was doing.
But just down back for a bit. Let me see if I can catch you. So that'll cross up, and her crouch, her jump light kick also can cross up. It's a little tricky.
Well,
against crouching opponents, it's not the thing that I would suggest doing.
Yeah.
But it can, like that. You can ensnare dash, cross it up, and confirm it with crouch light. And so, like, if you're trying to get a mix off of off of some form of pressure. It's a way of doing that.
Right.
Otherwise, more likely than not, what I'm actually doing with her is I'm just going to go like boop, trying to get that into my game plan, and then blitz blow. And like an argument can be made that I should, in that situation, do like do backdash. That's one thing Prismatic does a lot. Is he'll if you're push blocking the blitz blow, he'll do backdash and he'll do backdash beam. Yeah, that just blew it all up.
Yeah.
So like that's some ideas for what to do with the pressure. You know, other players will literally do something like if you block this. Oops, sorry, that was supposed to be command grab.
Yeah, no,
But,
I get it.
yeah.
You can theoretically
they'll
tag
just
off
do
command
walk
grab.
up command grab because you're afraid of what they're gonna do. But it's usually pretty obvious when they're doing that, and you can just up back because like if they're doing that, there's like a 0% chance they're gonna throw a button out that actually catches your up back because her buttons are all slow.
The point that I would make briefly is that off of her tag crash, because tag crash is jump cancelable, you theoretically have a 50-50 where both options combo if the tag crash hits. That actually combos if you're super fast. I am not today, but
I mean, block this.
sure.
Oops, sorry, I didn't get the dash in time. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. It's just that like if you let the tag crash rock, then like the push block can happen, and then you're just kind of in an awkward spot. So if you block, here, you do it to me. So like,
Sure.
I'll try push blocking Carol's tag crash.
If you expect push block, you just dash cancel the tag, and then you're just back in, and you're still super plus. I
Dash cancel the tag.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I see. The tag crash. You dash cancel tag
Yeah,
crash.
yeah.
Okay.
And you just gain the space back. You definitely lose frame advantage. It's definitely not the best, but if you expect the other person to
push block, you don't want to be in the air like that. Yeah, and like I said, it's like that's still fundamentally like part of her whole. You have to be making reads about what their defensive options are,
Right.
and you have to be reacting appropriately to their push block decisions, or else you are going to end up whiffing a button in a way where like you have to cover it with power surge, or you need to tag.
Sure.
And if you just tagged, you're going to be in a bad spot.
So we already basically went over solo mix options. She's got not the best left right game, but she's got high low with that. She's got multiple command grabs.
I actually think her left right game. So if you do sorry, go corner yourself.
My issue with the left right game basically is that left right games like this get blown up by push block.
Sure, but allow me to sweep you.
Sure.
And are we covering Oki yet? Or is there...
Not quite.
Okay, we won't get there. All right, sorry then. Go ahead. Yeah, basically, like her left right game is entirely this jump heavy kick or the light kick. Wow, it's getting framed.
Yeah, that was super weird.
And it's the jump heavy kick, as you can see, is pretty awkward against standing opponents and at like different depending on like the height.
Yeah.
Especially like it's very distance specific. So it's height and distance specific. So it's like it's not the best option. Also, she can rapid light kick to confirm.
Cool.
Which is not the worst. Anyway.
Okay, so and then with partners, so her ability to contribute to her partner's mix is very bad. The only thing that I would mention it would be in Inoki situations, the fact that this forces back turn. Of course, I'm the best.
No, you can. The fact that she can trivially back turn is really nice if you are good at setting up back turn mix.
Right.
Obviously, Dante, you can demonstrate your Dante ice restand back turn bullshit.
Oh yeah.
Like this is an incredibly strong mix with Dante, because it leaves them back turned and that rainstorm crossed up.
Right.
And you can choose to cross it up or not cross it up by doing a different move.
Right.
And it's extremely hard to react to. It's a very good reset. So like, she's not the only character with the ability to create back turn, but she is a character with an incredibly brain dead ability to create.
It is completely. You just do this, they're back turned, and there's nothing.
I mean, it does use OTG and wall splat for her.
I mean, you don't have to. So that used wall splat and nothing else.
You can conserve OTG, but you can't. Actually, that used OTG when the ice landed, right? But
that uses his sliding actually.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Anyway, it will at least consume her wall bounce, but
yeah. Okay. So I don't think there's a huge amount of stuff that I want to say for mixing with partner. So her combo options I think are part of what makes her a very solid character. I think that she is one of the most complete knockdown kits in any character in the game. She has one of every type of knockdown, and you can use all of them a little bit north of 5k. You can't use all of them north of 5k, but you can use any individual one north of 5k, which is very good.
So let's just cover those knockdowns a little bit more by name so that people know what we're talking about.
Yeah, so this causes a wall bounce, and then an OTG pickup. And you can separate those. They're setups for it. The easiest one. Oh my gosh! Of course. How did I?
I'll do it. I'll do
Okay.
it. It's okay. I'll do it.
Here.
So the easiest setup for this is, in my view.
I mean, this is.
Oh,
yep.
fuck me, I screwed up.
I'm glad
I
it's
had
not
it,
just me.
and then
Yeah.
the PC timing is getting to me.
Yeah. I mean, all my metrics are saying that everything's.
There we go. That
yeah,
that
yeah.
conserved OTG.
Yeah. So the point
This
is
going
that.
to give me. There, you see that was OTG
Yeah.
and wall bounce separated.
So that's those. The normal thing that you do with that is most people just do a flight combo, and then they'll just burn both at the same time. But because it preserves ground bounce, you can do that as the ender, and that gives you a hard knockdown unless you're like way above 6,500. But then the other thing is that this, if I can remember how to do quarter circles, this provides sliding knockdown, which means that it doesn't always burn OTG, but it can, and it's actually super useful. I think that Super Jump, I think that she has one of the easier conversions. Oh my gosh, my inputs are on, I swear. The point is that you can just dash down
I
OTG.
canceled the speed. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you can just dash down OTG.
Like
That-
I personally just tag here.
yeah. But it
But
gives her.
I'm someone who tries to keep things simple.
Yeah.
But
gives her a lot of flexibility.
The other thing I did want to mention that we completely skipped about her hit grabs, and this I like whether this is real or not, or whether this is I don't know how consistent this is across other characters, but the opponent can counter tag during all of her hit grabs.
No, the opponent can counter tag during all of her light hit grabs, not the heavy ones.
All of her light. Okay, they can counter tag during her light hit grab. They can't counter tag during a heavy hit grab.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. You can't tag during either. You can only tag during the startup of these moves. So you need to basically piano it if you want to have your other character on point, which means that what will often happen to me is I'll be doing a combo happily here. And sorry, give yourself some meter. Go ahead and read.
How much bar do I want?
Just give yourself 4 so you can counter tag that well. So I'm going to do a simple combo where I do hit grab down and he's going to counter tag, and I can't tag back.
That is correct.
That's really bad. And so like you effectively can lose your turn mid combo with those hit grabs if you're not paying attention to your opponent's meter.
Just to be 100% clear, you lose your turn, but Carol is invincible until she recovers.
Yeah, you can always block. You're never.
Yeah.
It is impossible to punish Carol for these hit grabs, even through counter tag. They're not counter tag unsafe, but they are.
You lose your turn. You're minus. You're not
mixed.
punishable. Yeah.
You can get mixed basically.
But yeah, so grounded heavy hit grab does the same thing as aerial one. Grounded light hit grab builds a shit ton of bar, puts them in the air, but doesn't cause any
That's
sort
the
of
best hit
knockdown.
grab she has for
Yeah.
meter build. And
So-
you can do it as many times as you want because it doesn't consume a resource.
Right. And then this just works the way it normally does. So the fact that she's got a sliding, a wall bounce, and an OTG, and they're all separatable means that she's got a very robust combo game compared to a lot of other characters. Like Nova doesn't have cool combos. I'm sorry, Mr. Bananas. But that's a lie. Nova doesn't.
I mean, I
have
think
cool combos.
Nova probably could have cool combos. Like level 3 Nova does have wall bounce, and I don't know if he gets sliding knockdown, but yeah, he does. He gets sliding knockdown off javelin. So no, Nova does have all of those tools. He just needs level 3.
Okay.
And they don't do it because Dolphin Kick is just so good, and he does more damage than Carol by default. So
Yeah.
why would you?
Oh, what up, Bananas? You're still here. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to. It's difficult for me to juggle windows. I've got to find
All
out
right. So
every
anyway,
numbers.
I do want to cover one more thing about the knockdown kit. 'Cause
Oh,
it's in
yeah.
the knockdown kit. This adds a ground bounce to that move. So if you are in install, her wall bounce also has a ground bounce. So it's no longer an OTG state. Obviously, ground bounce consumes OTG.
Yeah.
But that is interesting for a variety of reasons. For one thing, it's kind of funny because in Power Surge, if you haven't used ground bounce yet, you get the super ground bounce, which sends them higher. But like if you're at, super high, boom, they can go pretty friggin' flying.
Yeah.
Reset yourself.
Sorry.
The other thing is that her beam super causes a ground bounce. And it's a very low shitty ground bounce, which is usually a bad thing. There are reasons that it can be good. If you haven't used her ground bounce yet in a combo, and I strongly suggest you just don't ground bounce with her unless you absolutely have to. But if you haven't ground bounced with her in a combo and you have another character who you want to convert with, often doing some sort of flight combo into level 1 tag and then Storm, you can just use Storm as a cash out level 3, and because it's a ground bounce, it always hits. It is possible to put them at such a high damage that the ground bounce doesn't happen. I encountered that recently when I was doing a Power Storm combo. So like at super jump height, sometimes you won't get the ground bounce, and it's very weird.
Yeah, they just don't hit the ground, I imagine.
Jump heavy kick always uses the ground bounce.
Right.
And yeah. Anyway, that was the other knockdown.
So I
wanted to talk about converting.
Yeah, I want to talk about converting. If you're converting against a guy on the ground, the brain dead thing that you're going to do is you're going to do this, that, and then you're going to do something on the ground. So do, or actually most people re-jump, right? This.
So what I do, and I consider this the easiest thing
Okay.
to do, I do sweep, blitz blow, heavy punch, and then I do re-jump, jab, heavy punch.
Yeah.
So my suspicion is that the people who originally were making combos for this game didn't understand the combo system, and they were avoiding lights because they thought lights added more HSD.
Right, and there's
than
basically
heavies.
no reason to not
And so
jump there.
you'll see a lot of combos from the beginning of this game that just avoid putting jabs in combos for mysterious reasons. And like, I consider the jump jab into heavy punch regrab jump jab into heavy punch, and then I do dash up heavy punch, and then I do dash, and then I do down heavy
Sure.
yeah, down heavy punch.
Whoa.
And that for me is the most consistent way of picking that up. There are other options. You can go directly into the sliding knockdown and use OTG if you're trying to solo, or you can tag there.
Yeah.
You can do a delay and do that just with heavy punch. It is completely possible to just confirm that with heavy punch. I just throw the jab in because I find it to be a lot more consistent, and I don't like timing my combos to be particularly tight or have any particular tempo. I like my combos to be very simple.
So there are a couple of things that I would tack on. One is that if you know that you're catching the other person grounded, this is actually your best starter. Just
Yes.
to get into that as fast as you can. And then off of that, she's got, if you want to keep them really low, this is, it's possible. And then you can do another one, so
yeah,
et cetera, et cetera. But
that gets into first hit jump heavy kick, and it is worth talking about that because like it is inarguable that like this is her best. Like that, obviously not dropping the next part of it, but like that, you only get that loop once because the first hit jump heavy kick, and if you blitz blow is an air move, so blitz blow prevents you from doing that.
No, that is not true.
Oh, prove me wrong. Oh. All right, I'm wrong. Does air blitz blow prevent you from doing that?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
I did not realize that you can do a grounded blitz blow and that still counts as a grounded move. So wait, do that again. How did you do that? Oh, you dash down and then get stand light kick. Oh, that's tight. That seems incredibly difficult.
I swear we've talked about this.
Yeah, I would never go for that, but that's cool.
It's a thing you can't do.
I wonder when that drops. Like, I wonder if you can do like.
Yeah. You get to. Most of the stuff that drops in this game starts dropping between 37 and 42.
Well, that was 31, and it didn't look possible. So
it's hard. It's really hard. Hang on.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
I don't have the hands for it. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm gonna strike that. Air blitz blow, I think, does count, but
yeah, I don't know.
Oh, one other thing about converting blitz blow, super jump. So if you're not using, so I use power surge to convert blitz blow.
I swear I've got sections for. Yeah, grounded
finish your grounded conversions.
first.
We'll talk about jump and super jump
The
later.
only one that I would add is the bananas conversion. While he's still here, is that if you find yourself going into this, it's useful to have.
I wouldn't do it
into
that
whatever.
way. Oh yeah. But like when so I prefer, and this is just me.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Like that's my preferred thing for that.
Sure.
And then I screwed it up. Restart me.
Whatever. The point is that you.
No, the point that I wanted to make was not just the confirm, but that you like converting that into crouch light kick gives you a longer spacing for it. You were converting it into jab.
Because jab doesn't go far.
I much prefer crouch light kick
Right.
for doing beam into install. Crouch light kick into sweep, in my view, is a much more consistent conversion.
I mean, the point that I wanted to make was that beam and install works. So
Yes,
if the other
beam
person,
into install definitely works.
if the other person is jumping, I'm very much a fan of the idea of just doing a hit grab so that you just cause a state that you understand and then converting from there. You're free to disagree, but I think that that's the cleanest way to convert.
So hold on, say that again. I might zoom out for a second.
If the other person is jumping, you just want to immediately stabilize and do a random hit grab and then convert off that.
I power surge, but it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you're jumping, and I like it, jab. Yeah, I crossed myself up. Yeah, I mean, I agree in principle that like jump that into this, and then I would prefer tagging.
Yeah.
Because I like to keep OTG. And OTG has been preserved, but wall bounce has not. And then I did that and ends the combo.
Yeah.
The yes,
point is
I
that,
agree. She's very good at stabilizing air hits. The only issue is that like some Carol players try to do that a little too much, and they'll go for hit grabs that they'll go for harder confirms that they need to when they're using power surge. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So like that's not the best combo or whatever, but the point is that you can, if you have dash, you can always dash down off of light punch hit grab, and then you can pick it up because it causes sliding and then OTG. You're going to burn OTG, but you can still pick it up.
So if you super jump, if we're still going to talk about air confirms,
Sure.
A lot of the time you're going to be getting blitz blow.
Yeah.
And so blitz blow as an air confirm.
You have to dash afterwards sometimes.
I didn't quite get that. So
Yeah.
what if they're above you? I'll try to follow. You want to do dash up, jab, heavy punch, and then you can either like from dash up, jab, heavy punch. You can either go down heavy punch into a flight thing, which I don't recommend because you're already way too high.
Yeah. Flight ceiling.
Or you can knock them to the ground, or you can knock them to the wall and then to the ground.
I also want to mention that with regards to Mr. Wolf being the smartest human in this call, super jump.
Yep, that is dead simple and works pretty much everywhere. I need to take like a 2-second break.
Sure.
I gotta use the restroom real quick. I'll be
No,
back.
I can talk about conversions. This is the one part that I've got. So when you're converting off of OTG, I just do this, and then that works. Actually, I swear. Yeah, there's definitely something a little bit weird on the stripping. So that's 52. It's not the most damage in the world, but that works anywhere on the screen. You always get the dash up into that. If you're a little bit more on the ball, you can do this as your launch instead of using launcher. And if you somehow hit with Power Stone without doing an air button, you can do this. And then that's a little bit too high. So while we're just moving through this, before I talk about filler, I want to talk about enders. The brain dead ender that every Carol player should
All
do.
right, I'm here.
What up? I've moved on to enders.
Okay.
Is there the thing that I do off of OTG? You just agree with the Power Stone into the flight combo, into the ground bounce, into the hit grab?
It depends. So one thing that I actually like have different things I do if I've already used Power Surge. But like you can do this.
Yeah, you can do that.
It isn't the best. I mean, you can tag and continue with your other character. With Panther, it's not great. I actually try to avoid using Power Surge with her. At this point, if I can, I try to get Power Surge with my other character and then go to her because that she can still finish. She can do this sequence without OTG, and this is like what I like to do for my ending sequence. And this is I tried. There was a dash down into another hit grab here. Is the way that's supposed to end.
Yeah.
and if you haven't used Power Surge, you can actually get one more hit or one more hit grab in there. Yeah, that's one way of doing it. Another way, I think Rainbow or the Priz does like something. Maybe it's not that.
I mean, that's close.
He does something like this where he'll start with the wall bounce, ground bounce. I think he does.
No, so the
no, sorry. It's he does a down. Oh, he does jump spike, and then he does heavy kick, and then he does. No, it's not that either. I was trying to show just the Carol one. So yeah. It's a dash down just above the ground, sliding knockdown one. So if we like start with this.
Oh no! Yeah. He does.
And then we do here.
But you need tackle for it.
And then we do this. And then you can pick that up if you're good.
But you can't pick that up solo.
You definitely can. If you do that directly above the ground, you can 100% pick that up solo.
Okay. The version he does requires tag crash to hit.
See.
Yeah, you're super early in the combo though, because you're doing that at like just under 6K usually.
Just under 6 what?
6K.
Oh.
Yeah, and it becomes very awkward to pick up solo. Again, I
think I started picking it up with crouch light kick. But anyway, it does require you to do basically the ground spike into dash down this. And then you can do that.
Yeah.
And then I think after that you go for the.
I believe he does launcher tag crash, random hit grab into stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a bunch of different like combinations of how to mix and match depending on how many resources she has.
So the
you generally want to have them cornered is like the only really consistent thing about it. But if you've already used wall bounce and you haven't used ground bounce, or if you use wall bounce and ground bounce, there's a bunch of different things she can do.
She throws them really far.
She throws pretty far, and her flight combo goes far. She can do off of slide blitz blow. She can corner to corner you.
I would recommend that exact ender is just your brain dead go-to, and you just modulate from there. I think that's assuming that you have everything. Obviously, when you started to burn things, yeah. But I would try to always end in heavy hit grab when you don't have wall bounce if you can, because that gives you a really good knockdown until you're above like 6K something.
Drop.
Yeah.
So what Rainbow said, always end in this hit grab where you have already burned wall bounce. So we just do this. So end in this. You can go into a flight Oki if I didn't have a weird freaking connection issue. So off of this, you can get flight, and you mix them that way. And if he chooses to roll in, or if I suspect he's going to roll in, so roll in on this one. There are positions where you can fly, where you basically go. Try it again. There are flight positions where.
Yeah.
You can basically create an incredibly ambiguous mix-up. I think I was just a hair too far to the right, but you can cross up pretty consistently and react to mix them up if they roll in as well. So they have to left-right on the roll-in, which can be really obnoxious. Another thing that like some Carols do is they'll actually go to. I don't like this option. The one thing that some Carols will do is they'll fly at. Basically fly at roll-in distance, and then if they see that you're not rolling in, then they'll go for that, or they'll go for this. I think that's less ideal. I don't necessarily. I think partially because I just have a hard time getting there fast enough. I don't know why I have a hard time getting there fast enough. But like, if I just do backdash flight, he can just roll up pretty quickly. Whereas if my goal is, fly to, God damn it, I got blitz blow instead of flight because I didn't get the half circle or the quarter circle. That wasn't the right thing.
Whatever. The point is that she gets pretty okay off that. It's not the best.
She gets pretty okay. That was almost it, but anyway.
That was wonky. Okay, so I just want to talk about filler real fast. For the most combos, you want to either figure out some crazy sequence of hit grabs that doesn't spoil your ender, so you can get as much bar as possible. So stuff like this. You know, or you just nice, or you just do a flight combo. Because you can do flight combos in this game to like, I mean, hers takes her to, basically you want to use flight to get to a little bit under 5,200. Above 5,200, this into hit grab stops working. So you want to get to whatever number your under requires, but you just do a flight combo, right? You don't have to do a flight combo.
A beginner flight combo with Carol. After you get all your hits, wow, I don't have my timings right now for PC.
Yeah, I mean, I will be the first person to admit that there's some weirdness going on with me streaming.
Okay, so this hit grab, you can cancel into super. In fact, any of her hit grabs, the moment that you have them hit a wall or the ground, you can cancel into either binary or if you feel like it, you can cancel into like, you know, a different super, but you can't binary until they've hit the ground with down throw or with forward throw. And if you've used wall bounce, then oh dang it! If you've used wall bounce, then why did that not pick up?
I don't know.
If you used wall bounce, then you can't cancel this until they hit the ground, and then you can cancel it into binary.
Which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a really awkward thing.
If you don't want to use flight, you actually can just do. You can do stuff, but
I mean, I would actually point out that if like you're a super beginner player, she has a perfectly competent.
Yeah. That's...
Like her like just straight up silly magic series, like, and that you can get like actually even better if you just mix in some of the command normals.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing just like boop boop boop.
Yeah.
And then obviously you gotta the one thing I will say is that if you're trying to re-pick up with the same character, you need to delay your aerial.
I would just dash before that and then dash on the ground, but that's me.
Yeah, you can do that too. But yeah, you can do that, and you can obviously just do your tag in between.
Also, while we're talking about flight real fast, it's worth noting that she does not have a 1 frame on fly. She has a 30 frame on fly. The good news is that on hit, that just unflies you if you don't dash cancel it, which means that unlike other characters, which is actually something really funny, but if you play other flight characters and you try to just jump roundhouse at the end of a flight combo, you have to unfly sometimes to pick up someone mid-screen. Carol doesn't care. You can do 2 hits of flight into jump roundhouse and you'll just fall and then you can pick up and it's really easy. So like, nice. You dash
jump
cancel
roundhouse is not the thing.
Yeah.
It's this.
Yeah.
Like,
It's jump too heavy punch.
Jump too heavy. Yeah, sorry. You were saying roundhouse, and I was like, I don't think her jump roundhouse cancels flight.
Well, the point is that I don't have to worry about dash canceling or doing anything there. As long as I do.
She'll just drop like a rock once you do down heavy punch on hit.
Right.
And it's you can dash cancel it as well, which is like I had a got freaking frames. I'm never gonna hit this combo on this connection. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't either.
See how I'm keeping my flight here?
Yeah.
Even though we just said that move drops. Drops flight. It doesn't drop flight if you dash cancel the end of it. So it's a thing where you get to pick if you want to end your flight there or not. But the dash can't, like, that version of that combo is, I would say, a little advanced, and ultimately like you're getting like what 100 more damage on the combo for doing that more difficult version.
You're not getting any more damage, because if that combo is giving you more damage, then the things that you've put before that are suspect.
I'm pretty sure that if you're doing that version of flight, it is slightly better.
Well, my point is that I usually have to truncate flight combos so I don't blow hit stun later in the combo.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how many hit grabs you're trying to do.
Yeah.
I think is the other half of it. Is like if you're trying to really crank in a bunch of hit grabs, then that version might be worse.
Cool.
So every Carol has their own combos.
We're wrapping this up a little bit. The big question I have here is where do you place Carol in tag combos? And I think that this is a really easy answer. I think that if you have a good partner, she goes first. If you have a bad partner, she's the only person at the end of your combos. And you're free to disagree with me on that. But I think that, so she's not Dante, she's not Jetta. She's not Dormammu. She doesn't have stuff that works like super well north of 6K.
Oh, you're talking about for optimizing damage.
Yeah.
Yeah. She, in my view, she is very middle to slightly better than middle of the cast in terms of like having moves that can push the end of the combo to get like really high damage.
Yeah.
Meterless high damage is what we're talking about. And so like she caps out even with power surge extensions at like 5.6, like 5.7k.
She does slightly north of 6K solo if you're doing super optimist stuff, but it has to be super optimist. And very slightly north of 6K. We're talking like 60-20.
Really? Because like
Yeah.
this, like just that link for me starts becoming like one frame to dropping around 5.6, 5.7.
I agree. If you fully optimize stuff, I mean, your who's his face?
Is this Gamora stuff? Is this like
No. So solo, like Airtola has had solo 6K for a while. I've done solo 6K. It's super finicky. It's not real match practical. You don't do it in real matches. I would shoot for 5.6. I would never go above 5.6 because of that link you're talking about.
I see.
Yeah, it's super wonky. Yeah. But the point that I would make is that like Dante has like that garbage will work at like 6,500, and Carol's stuff does not cooperate past that. What the one thing that Carol does have that sort of cooperates is if you saved what's it called, sliding knockdown, you can do like you can do something like this. And then that actually works if you get the right height. It's very height dependent, but that'll work up till like 7.2. Like, it's actually absurd.
Yeah, sliding knockdown and jump heavy kick are probably the two most reliable combo extension tools, and they work pretty universally to very high percents.
Yeah.
Wall bounce and OTG, just they will stop working well before the other two do.
Yeah. And then as far as team enders go, I think that I mean, we're both playing this team. I think that if I'm doing an ender with this team, the brain dead thing is going to be something like this.
Into Dante. Well, I don't agree with that. Oh, maybe I agree with this. We'll see.
And then again, if you get the height right, which I can't do, then that actually works. And this team, exactly, if you do an ender very similar to that, you can do something close to 7.2 meterless. It's really hard. Condor.
Yeah, I mean,
face.
this is like, I think that this gets down into like the philosophy of the game of how long your combos should be.
Right.
But like, I think if you're doing meterless more than 5k, you're fine. And I don't think that like for the purposes of this guy.
I completely agree. I think that yeah.
But what I think is more important to talk about is her Oki.
Oh yeah, sure.
And like this, like
yeah,
like that is why I think that you generally want to end with her. Both because she can provide her own Oki setup, but if you have a character who like needs a setup for his Oki, like Strange, like Dante, like Jetta, like I don't know, the other characters that can get really disgusting mix-ups if they're allowed like 2 or 3 seconds to set up. She can provide that 2 or 3 seconds extremely easily, and it's pretty trivial to get to that point in her combos. So she's a character that if she's played with a better character, you can set play with her incredibly well.
Right. I want to mention this really briefly. This works with, I imagine it works with at least 3 characters. I don't know how many more. But when she's in install, a couple of things happen. One is that her beam does. This is examples.
She gets a 10% more damage buff on everything.
Well, she gets a 10% more damage buff on everything, but.
Oh, you're talking about normal beam. Normal beam hits more, and that causes her to get more meter gain. Drop all your meter to 0 so you can show it.
Oh, that's really smart.
Or at least drop it to 1 so that you can do the install.
So this move does 2,000 damage and builds me about a third of a bar now. It's a little bit less, but
if you can like this is comparing like if you look at my meter gain, it is way more pathetic compared to that. And the thing is that also builds that builds meter at normal meter build rules for hits. So your you're building your opponent a ton of meter with that too. If you want to show the Gamora thing that I
sure.
trying to show.
No, of course. The other thing, though, is that so every level 3 in the game does 1500. Every cinematic level 3 does. I don't have bar. Every cinematic level 3 in the game does 1500 damage, unscaled, except for Guts and Starter. Right. When she's an install, she breaks that roll and she does 1950, and then this is also further multiplied by Power Stone. So you do like 23 something, I think, when you're in Power Storm and you raw level 3 and install as the final hit, and that's unscaled, right? So it's not subject to the normal 15% at the end of the combo thing. This team has some of the highest damage in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Dormammu level 3 damage, and the reason I say that is because that, like, that level 3 will be diminished by Guts, even though it, like, her normal level 3 is a pretty middling level 3 in terms of damage compared to the rest of the cast when you're not installed. But when you are installed, it becomes pretty decent. Like, maybe I would say above decent, it's like top 10 or something. Of like all of the modified best damaging level 3s in the game, but you're paying like an extra meter to basically
and
have
some
a level
health,
3 that's
some health on both
actually
sides.
good.
But that's
and some health. Yeah.
That combo is super practical. It does 9100. There are versions that you can do this 2 meter start to Dante, and if he doesn't counter switch, he dies.
And like I've got on my Twitter like literally practical combos that start with her doing just box dash, heavy kick, or heavy punch.
Yeah.
That if you have Power Storm, I don't remember if you need Full Storm, but if you have Power Storm and you have 3 meters, you can kill a 10k if they don't have counter switch.
Yeah,
like, you can just straight up kill it, like done, and it's like very, 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 very practical.
Yeah. So and this is really good with Gamora. It's really good with Venom. It's really good with Sigma. I think there's probably a couple of other characters that hold you, but if you try to do like $1 million and then just beam in their face a bunch of times, they're just going to fall at $1 million. It has to be a super that actually locks the other person down at high.
It has to be. Let's be clear. It has to be Gamora or maybe Chris or like Black Panthers is worse than Gamora's.
I don't think Chris does.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how well Chris.
I know Venom definitely works. I know Venom Carol.
Black Widow maybe works.
I don't think Widow works. I think it's super limited.
Okay. Well, she has a super that you can hit them during. I wasn't sure if that's.
Oh no, they just fall out just if she just does it. Like you do not need to hit them with a partner. You will just fall out with a super without.
You just do it.
No, they just fall out. They just fall out.
Carol Gamora is really has a lot of potential.
Again, Carol Venom also can do it, and Carol Sigma can also do it, and I think those are both very good teams. I think that, I mean, Xbox jokes aside, Venom spends bar pretty well.
Yeah.
And I think that same with Sigma. So, but all those teams, I believe, can just kill Dante with about a 2-bar start if he doesn't counter switch, which is cool. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of characters can do that. Do you have anything else in terms of tag combos that you think should be showcased?
Tag combos? I mean, not really.
Okay.
I don't. I feel like this game is like super free flow or free form in terms of combos. So like,
sure.
You can really
there are 2 things that I want to talk about. So I'm going to be Hawkeye real fast. So she has 2 completely different sets of hit grabs in terms of properties. One of them, you can't hit the opponent and they can't counter switch. The other one, you can hit the opponent and they can counter switch, if that makes sense. So it's not useful, but it's useful to know if you're messing around in the lab and stuff starts randomly dropping. There are 2 interesting things about this. One is that if I'm doing like that, did I do the wrong hit grab? Am I actually dumb? You can. Okay, I need to do that lower. This is just me being dumb.
Also, her hit grabs will cross you up.
Yes,
right on
constantly.
That's another just thing to know is that if you're directly on top of her, she whips the opponent behind her when she's hit grabbing.
So
there you go, you got it, and it knocks him out of the hit.
but both of those are actually useful situationally. Max Weiser will have combos, or has shown off combos where you just hit him out of that, so that they never get affected by sliding. So you can do another one later in the combo, which is kind of interesting.
they never get affected by the sliding knockdown if you knock them out of that before the hit does the
Yeah,
sliding
if the sliding knockdown causing hit connects, it doesn't matter if they don't hit the ground, you still burn sliding.
But if you prevent it from hitting,
Right.
that's interesting.
Yeah, if you move them out or hit him out of the thing.
The other thing, tag for a second.
Sure.
Both of those. I guess counter tag during the hit grab and don't block
Okay.
during the hit grab.
Okay. Sure.
So yeah, that hit grab will hit the point. Like it's not just I'm hitting the person I'm punching. It will also cause it put them in block stun if they are counter tagging or blocking or whatever.
Yep. And so during her heavy hit grabs, you can never hit the opponent no matter what. And you also can't move the opponent out of it or knock the opponent out, but they also can't counter switch.
Can you do that counter tag again one more time?
Sure.
I 100% couldn't tag there. Just heads up.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you can't counter tag while you're being hit by a heavy hit grab.
That's a light hit grab.
I know. I'm saying they have different properties.
No. But what I said earlier.
Yeah, I agree.
That
What you said is
I
correct.
could not
Yeah.
tag.
Yeah.
Okay, so my earlier statement. I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood your counter statement. So you can counter tag this, and I can't tag.
Correct.
Until
Correct.
it's done.
Correct.
And you cannot
Correct.
but you cannot counter tag the heavy one.
Right. I'm holding it down. There it is.
I see.
She may have recovery in the very end, but you can't.
Yeah, I think I still lose my turn there.
Yeah. The point is that it's completely different sets of properties.
How's it going, Octopus? I'm gonna be done in a second here. Honestly.
Yeah. So I have two things. One, I've got what up. I actually want to talk about birthdays for 2 seconds.
Yep.
I just want to briefly mention. So most flight characters in this game have when you're hitting an assist, they always do first hit. So they always get that jump roundhouse, right? So if you do that, a sequence is very similar to that, where you're hitting both the assist and the point. You'll. Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? You'll if you do it right. And
you want me to do it to you? I can do this.
Sure.
Okay. Tag.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read my chat.
Oh,
Yeah. The point is that
I did heavy kick. One more time.
no. I'm doing it. I'm the best.
Go ahead. I'm seeing so many bad. Yeah. The frame rate is so bad. I don't understand. Well, you still managed to reset.
Yeah. The point is that that'll reset the assist. The other thing, and you do this, and it's super smart, is once you've reset the assist. I'm getting. So I agree. My game thinks I'm running at 60 FPS, and OBS thinks.
So does mine.
And OBS thinks I'm using 1% CPU. Maybe my GPU is exploding. Hang on.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean it might be the stream because I don't know how you're streaming it, but anyway.
It's just
what
OBS.
were you gonna say? You're gonna say I'm doing a smart thing. Show me the smart
You're doing a
thing.
smart thing. So the thing that you do, be happy birthday.
I don't do that. I do the first half of that. I don't do the second half.
Yeah, you did whatever. The point is that
I'll relaunch into super usually.
yeah. So this hit grab causes it will hit the assist because it's the light one. She's just actually hitting things on the screen the entire time. But the assist will fall out of it. So you can make the assist fall out of it and then launch them back into the sliding knockdown hit and then pick things up from there.
Does a sliding knockdown hit cause sliding knockdown on the assist?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, and they're just on top of each other, just in the same state. It's actually really, really handy. I mean,
Still, you're only gonna do it's gonna be towards the end of the combo.
I mean, hang on. I can literally. This is just things I send to you when I'm bored. So, I gotta scroll way up in this DM.
I do have to wrap this up soon.
Oh yeah. No. So the only other thing that I would are there any other unusual interactions with the character that you want to talk about?
I mean, I want to point this out. So install, similar to Power Storm, causes a damage boost on all of her hits.
Yes.
Which means that her combos need different routes, but it also does this. So that is like super jump height.
Yes.
Whereas if I'm not in install, it's like
Not
normal
super jump height. Yeah.
And it does cause enough stun that like if you jump cancel it at the right timing, like and it's a tricky timing, and there it is. Like you can do super jump light kick, and you can do super jump just heavy punch. To like and like if you want to show the loops, that's fine. Like you can literally do like box dash and loop it. It stops working at around 4K, which means that like you need to already be in install in order to do it 3 times or something, which is like super niche. And like I don't know what combo you're like doing one hit confirm into hit grab in, but I'm not.
Well, as a punish, you might be able to do.
As a punish, yeah.
I guess you could do. Oh, that doesn't
That
even
wasn't the combo.
Yeah. Okay.
No, you can't do that.
Also, just conversationally, this is jump cancel, so you can do shit like that. I don't know what you would.
I've never seen that done, and like maybe it's useful, but that looked awkward as hell.
It's interesting. It's an option.
Yeah, but like the main thing I want to say is that like if you're going to do this move, you need to lab the
super jump conversion,
or the super jump conversion. And if you're playing between
you
PS4
just super
and
jump.
PC,
Like you don't. Yeah.
No. When you do the super jump, when you actually when she can like when you have to be holding down, and then you need to press up at the right time in order to catch them so they don't fly out of it. Yeah, well you're cornered right now, so it's going to be a lot easier.
Okay.
Make it so you're not cornered, and then
he says rolling in.
As I roll in. Make it so you're not cornered. Yeah, there you go.
I don't find that super difficult. I do think remembering to super jump is super difficult, and I'm not smart enough to do that.
I find it difficult because I will cancel it early and get normal jump.
Yeah.
Because if you cancel it early, if you do the jump early, then you just are holding up during the end frames of the move instead of
you
doing
just
the super jump.
you have.
And if you do it too late, then they're too far away from you. Like I will try doing it, and I'll bet it'll be too late. Yeah. So like that's too late.
I mean, you could probably jump cancel. I bet you could jump cancel blitz blow up. Yeah.
I mean,
and then just blitz blow again.
Blitz blow again. That's all right. Hold on. We'll have some fun figuring out if that works, and then I'm gonna be done.
All right.
So jump cancel.
Well, no, jump cancel blitz blow. I mean. Oh, that doesn't work. Okay, Carol sucks. It probably works.
That works. I'll bet you could like. Yeah, if I had done jab. If I had done jab, that would have worked.
Point is, it's.
So this is a corner only dumb combo.
The bottom line here, though, is that if you expect to use install, it is very useful to lab dedicated install combos, or to just do really fucking short combos.
Why isn't this giving me upward blitz blow?
Because you can't blitz blow above about super jump height when you're in install. There's a weird height ceiling.
It can be done. It's corner only and completely impractical, but yes. Anyway, yeah, her install is more trouble than it's worth. For like, and you need to remember, it is not armor. You do not get armor for that.
Yeah.
I will say you do still gain meter, so it's not like clones. You gain meter and you maintain it between tag. So like that's like it's like Monster Hunter install in that regard, or Arthur install or X install. But it's a bad thing to do.
Okay. So do you have anything else before I kill this?
I'm trying to think if there's any other like weird things about Carol. Did we talk about the fact that this is like why this is unsafe? Push block, I imagine. Yeah, push block. So if you block this,
that's way too early. Yeah.
I would say here, do it to me.
Okay. It's hard. It's gonna be hard in this connection too. But the point is that if you perfect push block the last hit of multi-hit moves, they get really wonky properties.
I've managed to punish it with like Hulk's. There it is.
Yeah.
So like if you again this is a on this connection sort of thing. Yeah. Like I just wanted to explain that like when I say this is an unsafe ender, it's an unsafe ender if they perfect push block the last hit.
And they also have to be pretty close.
No, it's unsafe at this distance against people with good hitboxes. Like, it's unsafe at this distance against Hulk. It's unsafe at this distance against Dante. It goes from like +3. It's +3 if they don't push block at all, to incredibly minus if they guard cancel the last hit. So use it with tag. I'm just running through all the other things. Oh, her beam super becomes unsafe at like 6.7k.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if you
yeah.
are ending a combo in beam super, the opponent will flip out. If you started the beam super hit around 6.7k, the opponent will flip out and you will not get ground bounce, and they can punish you. And if you're grounded, they can just mash tag, or they can press a button. If they're in the air, they can tech down forward towards you and just hit you.
Yep.
And you are now getting combos. So
Don't
if you are
end
solo
in
Carol,
level 1. Unless you've done a short combo. If you've done a long combo, don't end in level 1.
Yeah, don't. Basically, if you've done if you're ending a combo and you're off of a heavy starter, you're at about 6.6k. Don't level 1. You should either level 3 or do something else.
Yep. Okay.
I think that's about it. I'm just trying to like rack my brain. Yeah, dash forward heavy punch just isn't as good as like better characters with better dash forward heavy punches. So while that is like a move that she can do in neutral, you know. Oh, Kara cancel blitz blow. I guess that was a thing we didn't mention, but is like.
I mean, that exists.
It's a thing to do.
Yeah,
like,
no, that actually makes sense, right? So you're doing car cancel just to space out the thing between the sweep and the blitz blow.
Yeah, you're trying to bait it, right?
Yeah,
You're trying to bait. You're trying to be like, oh, I whiffed this button, and then you blitz blow at them because they're trying to punish you.
He's
like,
talking about. I have auto gun on.
And then Kara can't, like, if you're using Power Surge, it's the same concept as Kara cancel Power Surge, right? It's just like, oh, I did a thing, it's unsafe, now you're punishing it, now you're getting it. But I think that's it. God, this went all over the place. I'm sorry, I was
No,
so
it's
rambling.
fine. I legitimately, I wanted this to be slightly rambly, but not too rambly, you know?
Okay, well, hopefully it was the right amount of rambling.
Exactly.
I do have to go. I told my wife I would work out like 20 minutes ago.
Well, have fun working out. I just want to share the happy birthday stuff on stream real fast. So the full sequence that I would recommend.
Can I just say before
Sure.
I go a last little thing? Carol, great character if you're new to the game. Definitely a character that there is a core community of Carol players that all play her and love her. But she is widely considered not a good character, and like if you care about tiers, okay, you can just put that in your back pocket. If you care about playing characters you love, you can play them. Shoutouts obviously to Bananas, to Alien Hominid, to Max Weiser, to Prismimic. Who am I missing? Obviously you, Rainbows, and me. Although you don't really. I mean, you play her, but you lab her more than you play her.
Correct.
Is there anyone else I'm missing? I'll feel bad if I'm missing someone that I tweet at, because there is like a group of players that I'm like, Carol Gang! Summer? No, you don't count. I'll give OG War just for a shout out, because he's got a side team with Carol that he kind of tries to play with. He's working on his Carol. Anyway, thanks everyone. I've been Erebus Wolf. Thanks Rainbows for doing this. Enjoy your happy birthday sequences.
Yeah, I'm just dropping everything. I'm just, yeah, you can see me sometimes. So I apologize. I'm just not picking up the assist. Oh my god, whatever. I'm gonna find a Twitter video. That's what I'm gonna do. Screw this. This is the sort of thing that I think that I could do if I wasn't streaming, but I'm streaming, so like whatever. Summer, I am never going to win a major. Okay, hang on. What is this, is the real question. I'm just looking through old streamables. Yeah, this has got to be it, right? Add new source, window capture. Here. So some variant of this, and then you get the reset into the hit grab. The assist falls out of the hit grab. You launch the assist back up into the sliding knockdown. You get the sliding knockdown, and then you do whatever you want with your character, and a blah 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 blah. Happy birthday, super happy fun time. Nobody can see anything, etc. etc. And then you just loop the sequence, and you get the same air dash down, jump light punch reset or whatever into whatever. Kill the thing. I'm too lazy to find an infinite off this, but yay, happy birthdays. Yeah. Cool. So to the A, thank you all for watching. B, is there anything that you guys in chat want to see? Next time, remind you. What's the Josh 360 tech? Oh, the just basketball combos and power stone. Everybody has that. Every character with a dash. Yeah. It's awkward. I think so. The fact that she does so much damage in install with a level 3. What flight stuff did we not go over? I thought we went over flight stuff. You can go into flight until about 4.5. Off of Fierce, off of Jump 2 Heavy Punch, you can get it a little bit past 4.5, but not much. And then you want to dump out of flight before 5.2. Yeah. Strange can basketball combo. A lot of characters can basketball combo. Well, Strange can fly. Yeah, so my goal for these isn't necessarily to go super deep into combo possibilities, but to give people the building blocks that they need to lab stuff on their own, if that makes sense. If you have something like, I mean, I'm probably going to put this on YouTube or something, or put up a pod, so I can link combo videos, I figure. And that's more helpful than me. Like, unless I'm adding commentary, you know, that's way more helpful than going on ad nauseum about stuff. Could be wrong. You're free to disagree. Cool. So I'm gonna just one more time kick it back to y'all to see if you have anything. My goal again is to get other people who aren't Mr. Wolf to do these for other characters. This took a little bit longer than I thought. This was a full 2 hours, but not by that much. And I think that Mr. Wolf definitely got a little bit too rambly, a little bit too early, which was, I mean, we're both super new at this. I'm not like saying he did anything wrong. I'm saying that I should have been more aggressive to cut him off. Nice. To who? To who, Mr. Octopus? Oh, I'm not gonna have chat on the VOD. That's cool. I don't know, Vest has been being nice to me, so I am trying extra hard not to call out Vest for things. I think that he's definitely a cool guy most of the time. Oh, to you? Heck yeah. Were you commenting? I hope you were commentating your own match. Wait, did he not just like Larry you all the time, or does he not play Hagar and whatever? I'm not gonna. Yeah. I completely forget what our solo 6K routes are. They're a pain. They are a massive pain, though. I think you. Yeah, whatever. Okay. So in that case, Octopus is popping off about a well-deserved victory in the Jacomania Chronicles, where he earned the right for a set against Jaco, which is the highest honor that can possibly be bestowed on any community member on a Wednesday. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna cut the stream here. Thank you guys for showing up. I'll raid Summer or something. I don't know. Summer, you're getting raided. I know you're not live, but I'm gonna raid you anyway. And yeah.